So thank you to everyone who is joining us here today. Um, we are talking about our tech innovations and updates, which is super important. We have so many new things we have to go over, as well as telling you what's next. So let's look at that. All right. So let us tell you a little bit about us in case you are new to us. We are Bridging Voice. We have assisted over 5,000 people with ALS since 2019 in all 50 states and in 37 countries. Importantly, that you should always know is that our services are always free. So we assist clients with finding the right tools, providing one-on-one training and tech support, obviously building innovations and customizations, and that is what you guys are here to see today. And then also providing professional support to clinicians and nonprofits as well. Again, very important just to remember. We're going to go ahead and go through our training today. You're welcome to put any questions that you might have into the chat. We will either address them right away. If it's something short that can be addressed, our team is also here as well. And so they will be able to answer some of your questions if you drop them into the chat. But no, with the very end, we're also going to do our question and answer where you will have a chance to ask questions of Bob, of Nachum, and of our entire team. So please feel free at that time to do it. And also remember, if you are here for a professional development certificate, I need you to stay all the way to the end, and we will be giving the attendance attestation link at that time. All right, so let's talk about our agenda. So our agenda today, we are going to talk about our updates for ElevenLabs. We're going to talk about our updates for ChatGPT, Angell Bell, some updates about customizations and our games. And then we're going to give you guys a sneak peek into what we're working on now. And we're going to try a little something new this time. So please stay around because you have a chance to have your voice being heard as to what Bridging Voice works on next. So please stay around for that in order to do that. And today, of course, as I shared, our presenters are Nachum Lehman, who is our technical director and co-founder, and then also Bob Paradiso, who is our rehab engineer and master of all things politely hacking the appropriate way. All right. Nachum, this is where you get to take over. Have at it.
Okay. Thank you, Trinity. Trinity, by the way, can you make your screen bigger? Because it's only taking up a small portion of the screen, the slides.
You're not you're not seeing the whole
That's
thing?
that's a little better. Yeah,
I
I
can
think
go
maybe
even further.
I think that's better. That's good. That's fine.
How about
Okay,
that?
that's perfect. Okay, thank you. Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us today for this exciting presentation on our tech innovations, something that's core to what we do at Bridging Voice. I think that one of the most important points to start with is just understanding, aside from the fact that communication devices are lifesavers in and of themselves when they're delivered, to give people with ALS the ability to communicate and access computer access and environmental control access. But more importantly, I guess as it pertains to Bridging Voice and to many people out there, these devices have unbelievable capabilities. The fact that the manufacturers
It won't
have
be there
allowed
any
us,
longer, right?
oh, the fact that the manufacturers have allowed us to sometimes and most of the time go under the hood and be able to actually add additional programming to what they've delivered and to complement their software. This has given us the ability to give many people the ability to communicate and just enhance quality of life across the board. So this is one of the things we're going to be discussing a lot about today, and it's really the base of everything. Okay, next slide, please, Trinity. So we're going to start with ElevenLabs, which is obviously one of our most popular innovations. voice cloning and banking with ElevenLabs has been one of the most impactful innovations um, to have been released to the ALS population, maybe since eye tracking. It's a synthesized voice that is similar to your own, and it's created and being used on a communication device or a text-to-speech app, and is often indistinguishable from a person's natural voice. We're going to show you one video in a minute, but generally speaking, the feedback from our clients who have received an ElevenLabs clone has been just amazing. People feeling that they have regained their identity, their confidence to speak. I think one person mentioned to us that they don't speak anymore just because they have to ask for something or they need something. They're speaking now because they enjoy speaking and they just feel good about themselves. Here we have a quick testimonial today because of amazing technology from ElevenLabs and the assistance of Bridging Voice. I cloned my voice in minutes using old videos. I got my voice back. It sounds exactly like I used to. I may have shed a happy tear or two when I first heard it. I am incredibly thankful. I do still have the ability to speak, but this is so reassuring and really, really cool. So this is just a sample of a testimonial. Trinity, can we go to the next slide? We're going to show you just a really quick video of one person revealing his ElevenLabs voice to his wife. And there are so many of these videos now, but I think this is one that will give you the flavor of what an ElevenLabs clone means to people.
Welcome home, babe.
Why?
I'm so glad to see you and excited for this weekend. Thank you for always being here for me. I love you more than you know. What do you think of my voice? You like it?
It does. Oh.
Okay, so that's like a sample of what it looks like when somebody gets their real voice back. So um, we'll talk a little bit in a second about how you can get an ElevenLabs voice if you don't have one yet. But one of the newest innovations that's come out of our tech team, from Devora specifically, has been a new setting screen that we've developed for our integrations, which allow anyone who puts their ElevenLabs voice into their speech generating device, they now have this setting screen which allows them to control the speed, the volume, which has been kind of a difficult thing for people who received ElevenLabs voices, which were a little bit lower than the typical voices that came with a speech generating device. And these setting screens have allowed people to customize the way their ElevenLabs voice sounds. And this has added a lot for our clients. One of the most exciting features that has been released by ElevenLabs has been a version 3.0, which allows for putting in emotional tags. And these emotional tags allow someone to say that I want you to say the next piece of text with a laugh, or I want you to say something in a sad voice or in a happy voice, excitedly. And these tags really give people the ability to speak with emotion, add in all sorts of extra sound effects that they may use while doing natural speech. And very, very soon, this 3.0 feature set will be available for our professional clones. So this is extremely exciting. It's been built into the software already, so it's ready to go. So as soon as ElevenLabs finishes their work on making this work with the professional clones, it will be set to go. Next slide, please, Trey. Thank you. So if you don't have an ElevenLabs voice yet, the way you would get one is by requesting a free ElevenLabs account from our website. And these are accounts, these are subscriptions that would normally cost $1,200 annually. And ElevenLabs has graciously provided these accounts for free for people with ALS. So if you go to our website, you can request a free ElevenLabs account. You go and you would record your voice or upload old videos or audio that you have of your voice, and then you would start using it with your app or your communication device. It's that simple. You may need some help from Bridging Voice, and we do for ALS patients. We will provide and do the integration for you into the speech generating device, and you can just give us a call or reach out to us at ElevenLabs@bridgingvoice.org. Another innovation that we have is our ChatGPT. And it's simply the ability for people who are using communication software that they can also access ChatGPT directly through their software. So if someone, for instance, has Communicator 5, which is on this screen, they can type in a prompt of some sort. They'll say, they'll talk about a name or a football player, and then they'll say, write this as a paragraph, and then it will give an entire paragraph about that football player. More importantly, to our clients, if you write something and you write it in just a few words, and then you say make it into a paragraph, it can become a more lengthy and conversational piece of text. So this has been extremely helpful for our clients, who some of them are parents who want to read bedtime stories to their children. So they would put in the names of their kids, maybe unicorns, rainbows, and lions, and they would click a button that says, make this into a bedtime story. And then automatically they would get a 2-page bedtime story that they'd be able to read to their children before going to sleep. And in their ElevenLabs voice, if they had an ElevenLabs voice. So this has been an amazing, amazing innovation. We really want people to take advantage of this. But at the same time, I do want to mention, I want to give a shout out to Smartbox, because they've released their first dive into AI and something like ChatGPT. Is they added in a fix feature, which is something we've actually now used for some of our clients, where they don't actually add content to the message window that someone has typed in, but it will fix the spelling, fix the grammar, and it will expand any abbreviations that you've put in. So this fix button really gives somebody the ability to just type and not worry so much about all of those little mistakes that come up sometimes because of an inaccuracy in the eye tracking. And you press the fix button and it's all better. So this has been a really wonderful feature, and I think the feedback and response has been amazing across the ALS world. So this is one that one to watch, and can't wait to see the other AI features coming out of there. Another one of our innovations is an Angell Bell. It's actually a simple concept. It's a call bell for eye tracking devices, where when someone is in a facility. Now, usually if someone's in a facility, they can just press the button on the call bell to call for help from a nurse. But since our clients are using eye trackers, they don't have access to those switches. And this has been a big challenge for them. So Chris Angell, generously sponsored this project a few years ago, and this has allowed us to produce and distribute a special call bell system, which will listen to the eye tracking device for a signal. And when someone clicks a particular button on their eye tracking device through their eyes, that will call a nurse and activate the nurse call bell button as if they press the switch. I don't think it's over the top to say that this technology has probably saved lives. Someone in a facility is usually extremely compromised, and the fact that they can call a nurse for suction when they need it, for a pain medication when they need it, and not wait hours until someone happens to come by in the room, that makes a really, really big difference. So this is something people should be aware of. And if anyone is going to ask the question about, well, what about a call bell in our home? Maybe just wait till the end of the presentation, and maybe you'll get some good information about that too. Customization. So this is where we all get excited. And I think we decided to write it. What does this even mean? Because we talk about this all the time. Customizations. Bridging Voice does customizations. Customizations are simply, we will reprogram a page to be formatted in a way that will work for you to be able to communicate. Now, sometimes that just means moving buttons around. Sometimes that means making buttons a little bit larger or very large, like you may see here on the screen. But often that means complex programming to do all sorts of tasks that these devices were not originally designed to do. And it's important for everyone to understand that the Bridging Voice team, our team, everyone on the team is just so special. And one of the ways that they're special is that they'll just watch a client try to type for a half an hour or an hour or 2 hours and just sit there and observe until they realize what is wrong. What are they doing that's not allowing them to communicate as quickly or as effectively as they should be able to? And, 9/10 of the solution always lies in just a true understanding of the problem. And that's really what we're out to figure out always. What is causing the issue? Once we figure that out, usually the customization is the easy part. Next slide, please. I'm only going to give one example because it's our favorite example, and it's actually one that's very easy to articulate. Here is just almost a standard QWERTY keyboard, and let's just imagine that the person who's using this QWERTY keyboard is trying to type "How are you?" and they really meant to get the O, but instead, because of their inaccuracy, they instead activated the I. So now they have the I up there. So normally, they would hit the backspace button, and then in all likelihood, whatever caused them to hit the I the first time will very possibly make them hit the I a second time. And we've seen it happen 15, 20, 30 times in a row where someone is using an eye tracker and they keep clicking the wrong button, keep hitting backspace. All of that fatigue, frustration, and energy just wasted on trying to get a single letter. So one of our customizations, you can go to the next slide, please, Trinity, is that instead of just erasing the I, we made it, instead of just backspacing the I, when you hit backspace, it actually removes the I from the keyboard so that this way you won't hit it again. You get one chance to make that error. And if you hit backspace and we know you didn't want that I, then it's gone. And now your second shot at getting the O is going to be so much easier. This particular board has helped hundreds and hundreds of our clients be able to type more effectively and probably last another hour or two at the end of the day when they would have been out of energy because of all of that frustration they had experienced previously. So this is just a really good example of a customization. We have dozens of customizations, and we're creating new ones every single day. So if you have a challenge which you don't quite understand how to resolve it, please give us a call so that we can watch and try to help make things better. We do have a link to one of our pages that has some of our most popular customizations. One of them is this QWERTY 9 with smart backspace, the one you just saw. There's another one, an 8-button board and a rose phrase board. We're not going to go into them now. If anyone has any questions, certainly you can ask later on. And we have office hours, 15 minutes after this presentation is done. We have it every week where you can come and join us and ask any questions you'd like. So anyone every Tuesday at 4:30 Eastern PM. So we can, there's plenty of time today to find out anything extra you need to hear.
Malcolm, I also want to remind everybody that Annie is going to drop the link from a past presentation that we did, just kind of explaining kind of what makes us special about being able to understand these nuances and come up with these boards. So Annie has that dropped in, the missed pieces of success. So don't forget to check that out, which is on our YouTube video or YouTube channel.
And
Hello.
here's Bob. Okay,
This is where Bob gets to take over. Thank you, Bob.
Okay, so games, right? I mean, for entertainment, for socializing, for connecting with your friends, with your family in another way. Games are amazing, and we have a presentation we've done in the past going into a lot of detail. I mean, there's lots of games, you can get through the Windows Store. There's lots of games you can even play on your mobile device through your speech generating device. There's lots of different games out there and ways to play them. We wanted to also kind of add to the list of games that is present in your speech communication in your communication software itself, because for some people that's easier. So on our website, you could download the links there. There's all kinds of games you could check out. But yes, please don't forget about games. Next slide. So yeah, there's a lot of things we're working on, and we're going to dig into it. iOS mirroring, Angell Bell, and the frozen eye tractor detector. Excited to talk about that. All right, so next slide. Before I talk about iOS mirroring version 2, let's talk about the original that is already out. So this is about, you want to do some stuff on your iPhone or your iPad, and you want to do that, let's say, through your speech generating device, through the eye tracking available on that. And what happens is by using the right program, you get to see a window displaying the contents of, let's say, your iPhone on your speech generating device. And then by using your usual mousing, that you can through either like Communicator, Windows Access or TD Control, or through Grid's computer control. You can, by making clicks into that window with your eye tracking, it's as if you're touching the screen. So you can start up apps, you can play games, and it lets you do many things on your phone. Send emails, answer calls, play games. Almost any app on your phone you can interact with through the eye tracking on your speech generating device. Next slide. And we have a few users who have they've been really excited to use this. It's done a lot for these people.
So Bob, I'll jump in. I reached out to people just kind of asking them, and in fact, two of Malcolm's clients, Kate and Desiree, who were kind enough to give us kind of some feedback about what they think about mirroring. And this is just a little bit of what they had to share, and I won't go through and read everything. But most important thing I want to bring to your attention is iPhone mirroring has been an absolute game changer for Kate. And what a blessing it is to have access to the phone again. Most importantly, she now has access to FaceTime and her photos, which is epic. The ability to do social media, which is absolutely wonderful. And then also, as Sarah says, that she can access all of her apps and her messaging. She recently traveled and was able to download her boarding passes. I mean, it just opens up, your world again to all of those things that you're missing off of your telephone, which I think kind of runs our lives.
Nice. Okay. And on the next slide, okay, right. Okay, so we have this version 2 that we've been testing with some of our pals, and we're looking very much forward to releasing it soon. Some things I could share about it right now is the previous version relied on this other program called Visor to actually show the phone, and then we were providing the control piece. Now we've kind of brought that in, so now we handle the showing and the control piece, which allows us a lot of flexibility and lets us do a lot more cool stuff. It lets us control the zooming feature we've added. So when you're showing a phone on a speech generating device, often it's portrait and the speech generating device is landscape, so it doesn't fit as optimally as you might want. But so sometimes for some people the targets are kind of small, but with zoom in and some other things, we can make that a lot easier for people. Also, we are able to have a wireless display option, which is helpful in some instances, either because the device they're working with doesn't have the USB ports or there's some other issue. That's been very helpful. Another thing we have shortcuts. This idea of um, uh, making a sequence of clicks and drags within on the phone, recording that and being able to play that back easily just through a single button that the user can choose to kick that shortcut off, so they can do something very complicated very easily, and so save a lot of effort there. We've put in multiple language support. We've put in controlling multiple devices. There's people who have multiple iOS devices. There's also situations we found helpful where we can actually control other things that, similarly, there's this idea of controlling over Bluetooth, such as like Amazon Fire Stick. There's some other things there. For the right person, it could be a really cool solution, really useful solution. And another thing we had is for iPad, just making sure we can handle multiple rotations. That was not something we were able to get in the first version, but it's in the second version. Okay, next slide. Thank you. So if this could be helpful to you and you have ALS, please reach out. Is the main thing I want to say there. Next slide. Okay, so yeah, so this is good. So Nakam kind of alluded to this already. So there's the Angell Bell for facility use when you're trying to connect into that larger nurse call system. But for people at home, what many times people are doing is they're using the alert functions in their communication software, and that is definitely useful, and it does a lot. But there's a few downsides, so we wanted to supplement that. So the alert system in your communication software, when you kick that off, that's making a sound coming from the speech generating device itself. So it's coming from where you are. So if the person is some rooms away, they may not be able to hear that as well. So then you're in this bad. You have to choose between bad and worse. Either you have it very, very loud so that they could hear it, but there's limits, right? You may still not even be able to get loud enough. But even if you do get loud enough, you're not blasting yourself, because it's coming from right next to you. So there's some inconvenience there. Um, so we have this system we're in development of. We're testing it with some pals now. We some initial good results, where we can trigger a bell that's either plugged into other rooms in the house or worn with the caregiver, and this could be triggered from the speech generating device, from the communication software, and it will make a sound right at the caregiver, so they right away know something's going on and they can address it. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so another situation that comes up is if your communication device has some issue, you may not be able to communicate that issue to a caregiver because of the issue with the eye tracking itself. So we are in development of hardware and software solutions for this. There's a place for both, so we're doing both. There's hardware solutions we're in development of, in testing of detecting the actual IR, that the IR light that the eye tracker emits, so we can tell We're working on being able to tell based on that light, the presence of that light and the type of that light, how that tracker is doing. Is it still trying to track your eyes, or has it frozen? Similarly, there's software we could run on the speech generating device to tell how's the state of things. Is it still trying to track your eyes? Is it still getting data? So with both those things in place, that we could then potentially, through some alert system, either running on the speech generating device or through one of these, trigger the caregiver to know something's going on. Let me check. Okay, next slide. Oh, yeah. So yeah.
This is where I get to take over. I want to first of all thank you all for tolerating. We know with technology that things always get a little challenging and exciting, especially as we push boundaries. And so I appreciate you guys tolerating the screen size and me trying to move back and forth to this. But so thank you for that. The important thing that we all want to bring forward as our team, and I do want to give a shout out to Devora, who is not here with us today, but is also an absolute integral part to this entire tech team, of which I didn't even know about for the longest time. I thought it was just Nakam coming up with these amazing things and then making them happen within like 10 minutes. Like we're still on the call, and all of a sudden, like this thing that we have asked for just magically appears. I thought it was Nakam. Not to say that Nakam doesn't have some magic, because he does, but Devora and Bob being in the background is just, we can't say thank you enough for our team. Oh, yay for the balloons, Nakam. Having the three of them as being like the three best tech amigos is absolutely amazing. But the thing about tech is truly, it's not just about what you're seeing like right here and right now. These truly are gifts that keep on giving. So for example, as well as they open the door to a world that continues to evolve. When we're talking about ChatGPT, as for example, and these AI voices that have already improved from when we even started. We have given out so many, licenses, free licenses for these voices. And when they started until now, all of these improvements just continue to come along as, now voices singing and being able to put more emotion in it, and way more languages that are now available. As tech is improving, these gifts that we have then opened up to people with ALS are improving as well. So it is absolutely amazing that these doors just keep coming and keep evolving and evolving very quickly for us to keep up with them. So this here is the part that I said is new to us, and we hope to include in more trainings as well as on our social media. So if you don't follow us on social media, please consider doing so. But it is here. So you are welcome to use your phone or your iPad or something else to scan this QR code. You are also welcome to use the tiny URL that's here as well. We will be dropping it into the chat to tell us what you think we should work on next from a tech point of view. Do you have something in your life or something that you're helping your clients with that you would love to see us fix or come up with a solution? Please tell us about it. We would love to hear your ideas. And as our tech team has told me, no ask is too big, because you never know. I personally, especially being a speech pathologist, the idea of creating an app is something that I couldn't even imagine. I'd rather build you a brand new pyramid than to come up with an app. But for Bob and Nachum and Deborah, they're like, of course it's easy. So please ask away. Now, we are in no way making a commitment to actually getting all of or creating all of these things, but we would love to hear your input. So I'm giving you all just a quick minute to do that. We want to hear what you have to say. All right. Perfect. And again, this will also be in your after visit or your after training email. So you will have another chance if you miss it right now. Or if something comes up for you after you think about it for a couple days and this marinates, please let us know. So we have thrown a bunch of things at you, and we of course are giving you some time for question and answer. But one of the biggest things we said to you is tell us what your tech problems are. And if you are having a hard time and need a customization, please come to us and let us assist you with that. The best way for you to do that is open office hours. So open office hours happens almost every Tuesday um, at 4:30 Eastern time. It runs for an hour. You're welcome to stay there for the whole hour. You're welcome to pop in if you can't make it right at 4:30 Eastern time. And on the call, you will see our team. Oftentimes, our tech team is there. You will also see our Bridging Voice ambassadors there as well. And if you don't know what Bridging Voice ambassadors are, they are people who are living with ALS who come routinely and answer questions and share their stories and share what they have, what their customizations and solutions that they've worked through. So you get to join us for that in 40 minutes. So please consider doing so. And you're welcome to use this QR code to register, and it will actually remind you to come and join us each week in case you forget. All right. We have some upcoming trainings coming. We actually have a lot of things going on to wrap up this year, but our Bridging Voice trainings, we have 2 of them upcoming. Tuesday, October 21st, we are going to be doing a very special training. I'm actually going to be leading that training, Amplifying Voices of Young People with ALS. These are going to be individuals that you may have seen on social media, as well as being involved in other sort of trainings and panels, who are going to be sharing with us about their take on communication and life, as well as truly living out loud with ALS. It's going to be very special. I'm really excited for that. And then in November, Emily, who is our newest hire here at Bridging Voice, is going to be joining us for her very first training here with Bridging Voice, not very first training, choose and use mobile communication. So how to choose a mobile communication that meets your needs, and then how to use it and customize it. So that is going to be really special for you to join us as well. All right. As always, these trainings are recorded and you can find them all on our YouTube channel. So please consider liking and subscribing so that you know when we put something new on the channel. It could be training materials, it could be just even a little how-to guide, or a full Zoom training just like this as well. So please consider that. All right, so professional development attestation. Uh, Thankfully, my colleagues are stepping in to help me with dropping the links today. I appreciate that. They will drop that link in for your professional development attendance. Please remember to stay to the end of Q&A or the top of the hour to get your full credit for that. And as always, this is a new slide for our trainings. A lot of people ask us how you can support Bridging Voice. As you know, all of our services are free. And so you can support us in many, many ways, making a donation, sharing a testimonial to help us spread the word so that you can share what impact we've had in your life or in your professional life, or someone that you love with ALS, or your own life. You can donate communication equipment that you no longer need. And here's another thing too. You can also start a fundraiser to help get your community involved, maybe for your birthday or a special anniversary date. You are always welcome to do that. And you can learn more about that at our Getting Involved. As always, thank you very much for joining us today. And this is not the end of our training. I am just going to be stopping our slideshow so that you can join us for the chat. And I have a feeling we're going to have quite a few questions for our tech team as well as for our regular team. Please feel free to turn on your cameras. You can unmute yourself. You are welcome to put your questions in the chat. You are also welcome to raise your hand to get our attention if you have a question to ask us. And we are happy to answer any questions about any of the innovations that you saw here today, as well as our upcoming innovations as well. Does anybody have any? Do we have anything in the chat, ladies, since I wasn't able to see it? Oh, we did have a question about information about the call bell. And Karina put that in the chat, but just for those of you who aren't able to see the chat, someone asked, could I please have more information on the call bell? Is that available now? And Karina, thank you so much for your response. And by the way, Karina is our executive director, if you don't know who she is. And so she said Angell Bell is available right now. And the Angell Bell is the call link between a communication device and a facility call system. But our in-home call system is not available right now. It is in the works. Bob and Nachum have been working hard on that project, and I am grateful for them for that. But she shared that we are hoping to release it by the end of the year / early next year. And in order to see when any of our update or our updates that you saw might be ready for full rollout, please consider signing up for our newsletter, which is where you're going to see when everything is ready. All right. Ken and Paula asked, what is ahead with AI and new ways to communicate? That is a fabulous question. Thank you for that one. Nahum, go ahead.
There's there's a lot going on. I don't know. I think all we're allowed to say is what we said in this presentation, but there are other things being worked on as far as AI communication. Just to speak about some things that you've probably heard about, obviously it would be really important for speech generating devices to be able to maybe listen into a conversation and help suggest what you may want to answer to a question. These are technologies that are being worked on by a number of companies. And some of these can take into consideration what, your age, your interests, and maybe even some of your previous speech history. There's a lot of very promising things that can and will happen with AI and communication. And I think as most people here know, in technology, they always used to consider a year is a generation or 3 years is a generation in technology. In AI, 3 months is considered a generation. So that means 3 months from now, we're in a completely different place in AI than we are today. So you're not going to have to wait too long for some of these advances to happen and come out. And I'll probably get fired after this call for saying too much. So
we can't fire you, Malcolm. Class teacher is here. I can see her and she's still smiling. So you're doing just fine with that response.
We would have to clone you first.
And that technology is not available yet. We can clone his voice, but we could never clone Nahum or what is in his head. Antoinette says job security. Perfect. Absolutely.
Trini, there were a couple questions earlier that we answered in the chat, but we could just read out loud real quickly for anybody who might have missed them. One of them was, is ChatGPT included in the Grid 3 software? And Annie noted that it is available. You have to update your Grid software to the latest version, but then you should be able to add the AI Fix tool to your keyboard if you're using Grid. And then Antoinette also put a link in the chat to where you can read and find the Fix tool information from Grid 3. And then the other one.
Oh, wait, what? But Abby, were they asking about the Fix tool or ChatGPT?
Oh, good point. They asked about ChatGPT.
Right, so ChatGPT, in case you were asking about our integration of ChatGPT, it is available for the Grid 3 as well, because we were only showing it in a communicator page.
Yeah, so that means that you can request a customized page from us. For example, if you need help with integrating that ChatGPT feature into your keyboard that you have, you can actually request that from us and we can assist you by putting the ChatGPT feature into the keyboard that you feel most comfortable with.
And then there was just a clarifying question about, can you mirror iPhone from a Windows SGD? And so we did clarify that the Bridging Voice iOS Mirror program is intended for that purpose, that if you have an iPhone but a Windows SGD, it makes it so that your iPhone can mirror onto the screen of the SGD, and then you can control it using that Windows eye gaze. And Sean gave a really nice clarification that if you have a Pilot SGD or an iPad-based SGD already, the integration to use the kinds of features that are on your phone are already in that Pilot. So there isn't really you don't necessarily need to mirror your phone onto the iPad in order to access those features. So that's a little bit different. So we just wanted to clarify that. And then I didn't know if
Wait,
Bob.
hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
Wait, hold on before you go forward. So Amy has a question about using ChatGPT feature in her TD Snap keyboard, Knock'em. Is that a
I
possibility?
I don't think so. Um, I think that we haven't been able to do one part of that right now. I will have to double check with Devora in case she's ever done that. I don't think so. That's the quick answer, but hopefully I'm wrong.
And Ken wants to know, how do I make such a request for ChatGPT? Ken, this is a great question. So everyone should know that you are always welcome to reach out to us. info@bridgingvoice.org is your number one point. If you are already one of our clients, reaching out to the person that is working with you is the first place that you should go for requesting one of these integrations. If you are not one of our clients and you have ALS, info@bridgingvoice.org is going to be your next step. Remember that although a lot of these customizations are available for everyone, for people with all different diagnoses, we focus on people with ALS and ALS-like disorders, just so that I make that very clear.
Let me just, I just thought of how we could do the ChatGPT and Snap if we had to. So, yeah, give us a call.
This is how we keep our innovations team busy. I also just wanted to flag, as far as the survey with recommendations for new innovations, I just wanted to highlight that while our innovations team is brilliant, many of the innovations that we have created, those ideas came from our clients. The reason we knew about ElevenLabs is an ALS client had discovered it and brought it to us. And made us aware of it. And that's why we were able to do the partnership and make that available. So really the best and most innovative ideas come from this community. So we really, really do want to hear from you of what you wish existed, or what could be done better. And then hopefully our innovations teams can make it a reality. So please do, if you have an idea, send it our way.
Awesome. Thank you, Karina. Or the thing is we also may know of another person with ALS who has already created that innovation. So we have quite a few of those here on the screen with us right now, such as Sean and Juan. There's so many of you that are here. And also our other tech partners, such as Antoinette Verdone, who have already created those solutions. And we just need to get you connected with the right people so that you can have those done. But when we all work together, our tech just grows exponentially. Are there any other questions at this time? No? Okay. Then at this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to our online YouTube watchers. And as I always say, if you enjoyed today, please like and subscribe for our upcoming trainings.